Have you ever noticed how public restrooms always feel a little too quiet right before you flush? What if I told you there is a reason some people avoid using certain bathrooms altogether, and it has nothing to do with cleanliness? Meet David Brown, a software engineer who moved into his dream apartment last October. Everything seemed perfect until he started hearing whispers coming from his bathroom. Not from the pipes, not from neighbors through thin walls, but specifically every time he flushed the toilet. At first, David dismissed it as old building acoustics, maybe water pressure creating weird sounds, or his imagination playing tricks after long coding sessions. But the whispers became clearer each day, and they always said the same thing: flush twice. The phenomenon started simple enough, a faint murmur during his morning routine that he could easily ignore. But by week 2, the voices became distinct enough that he could make out individual words. Multiple voices, overlapping, all urgently repeating the same phrase. David began documenting everything. He recorded audio on his phone, measured decibel levels, even called his landlord about potential plumbing issues. The recordings captured nothing. The maintenance crew found 0 problems. Yet every single flush brought those whispers flooding back, now loud enough to wake him from deep sleep. The really disturbing part, David started recognizing the voices. His grandmother, who passed away 3 years ago. His college roommate, who died in a car accident. Even voices he couldn't identify but somehow felt familiar, like distant childhood memories trying to surface. Sleep became impossible. David installed a composting toilet in his bedroom and avoided the main bathroom entirely. But the whispers followed him. They echoed from every toilet he encountered at work, restaurants, even gas stations. The message never changed: flush twice. Desperate for answers, David researched his building's history. What he discovered changed everything. The apartment complex was built over an old cemetery that was relocated in the 1950s. City records showed the relocation was incomplete due to budget constraints. Dozens of graves remained undisturbed beneath the foundation. Here is where it gets really weird. David started following the whisper's instructions. He began flushing twice every single time. The voices immediately became grateful, almost relieved. They thanked him repeatedly, explaining they'd been trying to communicate with residents for decades. The spirits weren't malicious. They were trapped between worlds, and the water flowing through pipes built above their resting place was their only connection to the living. Each flush was like a prayer, but only counted when done twice as recognition of their presence. David still lives in that apartment. He has become the building's unofficial spiritual mediator, teaching new residents about the flush twice rule. The whispers continue, but now they offer protection and guidance rather than desperate pleas. The most chilling part, David discovered 13 other apartment complexes in his city were built over relocated cemeteries. He has started visiting them, listening carefully in their bathrooms. And yes, the whispers are everywhere, patiently waiting for someone who will finally listen and flush twice.